Is it a total eclipse of the heart? Actually, maybe a partial one. All right, everyone. So we have our very first eclipse of the season. This is going down on March 25th, 2024. This is going to be at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, so please adjust for your time zones. This is a little map before we get into the astrological chart of where in the world this lunar eclipse is going to be visible. So if you're able to convert that time as well, just think about if it's nighttime and you can see the night sky, then you'll be able to see it. That's the nice thing about the lunar eclipse is that um, the window for viewing is a lot broader. Unlike a solar eclipse, which may last just a handful of minutes, lunar eclipses you can watch the event take place over several hours. So this is where we'll be able to see it. It's very interesting because both of these eclipses in this series are going to pass through Mexico and come up through Texas and arc across the Great Lakes. So that's going to be where that solar eclipse is going to be. And so, yeah, North America, there's places in North America that is going to get to see both those eclipses. That could be significant, especially because we are in an election year this year. That seems to forecast a level of importance for matters related to this continent at this time of North America. So we saw that with Russia too. Like when the war broke out between Ukraine and Russia, we saw a lot of eclipse paths passing over in that part of the world. So yeah, that could be important here. Let's go ahead and shift gears and look at the astrology. All right. So this is the chart for our lunar eclipse. This is going down on March 25th, 2024, like I said, at 5 degrees Libra and 7 minutes. So this is a lunar eclipse. So there will be events that are taking place, but some of the things that I've noticed that are equally as important, if not more important, under lunar eclipses is the way they shift our perspective. So on a personal level, I want us listening. I want us paying attention, noticing where there is an invitation to look at something differently. Try not to be too resistant, because very often during lunar eclipses, especially the day of, but even like a few days before, a few days after, there it's very vital. It's a very vital period where we can get a very important perspective shift on something that can bring us into deeper understanding. Might be a little startling, might be a little disruptive, might be a little shocking, but it's worth it because eclipses are course correctors. They want to get us on track. Now, also where there are eclipses, it tends to kind of rock the boat a little bit. This is going to be happening in the sign of Libra, and it is a south node eclipse. So there's something that is being let go of, or something that we're being invited to let go of, whether that is an ideal. Again, Venus is ruling this eclipse in Pisces, and she's in a conjunction with Saturn. So, is there some sort of ideal that we're letting go of that we realize is just like too lofty or holding us back from having a really great connection here and now because we have our sights set on the other side of the fence? So yeah, back to the core of this, there's going to be a major relationship theme here on an interpersonal level. So if this eclipse is happening at an important point in your chart, there's going to be something relational here. Something that I see coming up a lot with Aries Libra is this topic of communication. This topic of needing to be forthcoming, needing to be clear. With Saturn's involvement with Venus, I'm thinking boundaries. The setting of boundaries, the communicating of boundaries is going to be really important. A lot of people get turned off when they hear boundaries. They think someone's just saying, like, I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you. And that's not it. It's saying, you know, to someone, I don't want to hear you complain about your boyfriend all the time. Either make up and shut up, or if you're unhappy, make a decision. But I don't want to hear that every time we hang out anymore. That's a boundary. That's saying, I want you to solve this problem for yourself instead of just keep complaining about it. So that's an example of a boundary that we can set in order for there to be more peace, more order in our relationships. Speaking of peace and order in relationships, that's likely to go through some little bit of disruption around this time. There's going to be some sort of, maybe you're learning something, maybe someone's setting a boundary with you that you didn't see coming, or you didn't realize was an issue, or they didn't even realize was an issue until this eclipse sort of shifted the perception. It became clear, it became something that needed to be said. So, yeah, there can be a temporary disruption of peace, a temporary disruption of harmony, but it's so that a boundary can be set or problem can be solved. So, yeah, I talked in my other Venus-Saturn conjunction video about kind of the upsides of this transit and some of the more challenging sides of this transit. There are upsides to it. You know, there can be this sense of fatedness around relationships with an eclipse in Libra. So there's like a fated coming together, a union of some kind, establishing a relationship. Again, I think there will be a lot of people getting engaged under this transit. I said in my other video, I wouldn't necessarily recommend a Venus-Saturn conjunction in like a marriage chart, for example, but the energy is there. You know, this is a commitment here. It's also an energy of solving problems so that we can move forward. You know, wherever we've been stuck, wherever we've been in a loop or on repeat, this is an eclipse that could be a catalyst of some kind that kind of breaks that boundary of, I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to kind of go there, to, all right, I don't have a choice. In the collective, I'm hearing the chant, no justice, no peace. Remember, Libra is the sign of the scales of justice. And there's a disruption here. There's a sense of things are out of order, things are unfair, that is especially pronounced around this eclipse. There could also be some sort of important judgment that comes down that kind of shakes things up and creates some sort of disruption. Think about the union of Venus and Saturn creating some kind of new order as a result of some sort of judgment, some kind. So, yeah, the letting go part of this eclipse. Are we letting go of a relationship? Are we letting go of a pattern in a relationship? Are we letting go of something that is holding us back from having more harmony? Is there a way to feel more supported and secure in relationships? That might also be another talking point interpersonally. I want to feel more support, Saturn. How can I feel more supported in my relationship? So, yeah, just be willing to listen. This eclipse. It's a Libra eclipse. Libra is a sign of the other, and it's a sign of compromise. And it might feel like we're a little resistant to it, but I think the invitation here with Libra is to listen to where the other person is coming from and see if you can find some sort of middle ground. So this will be especially important if you have a planet at 5 Libra or even 5 Aries or in one of the other cardinal signs, Capricorn or Cancer. So that's a little bit about this eclipse. If you want to chat about eclipses in your chart more in depth, book a reading with me. You can do that on my website. And yeah, for right now, this is your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also head on over to my website, catherineurban.com, where you can book your next astrology reading. We'll go into depth into your natal chart, your progressions, your profections, your solar return, your transits, and beyond. You can also join my mailing list where you can stay up to date with me on new classes as well as article drops. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll see you next time.